Now, no buzz. Just Bees Book Club. Um, Short one on The New Day, The Power of Positivity. I guess it's just The New Day, Power of Positivity. It's the first in a potential series, I guess, from Boom Comics or Boom Studios of New Day comics that I am glad exists, but did not do a whole bunch for me. I just want to, I'm doing this thing where every book I read, I do a video about it. So I read this book. I came across this because I'm specifically a big fan of Austin Walker, who's the co-writer on this. I've been familiar with Evan Narcisse's criticism for a long time. I haven't really read his comics work, and I was completely unfamiliar with. Here's how unfamiliar I am. Daniel Bayliss, who did the art, um, who did the cover and the illustrations. There's another letterer in here also. But honestly, I have very little to say about this. I think it's cool that it exists. I think the New Day fucking rule. I think this is like a pretty well written comic that has a lot of interesting things about it. Um, it's not for me at all. It's a very interesting artifact in the way that it is clearly a WWE production. It has clearly had to go through some amount of vetting by that corporation, and there's still some stuff in there that is like cool that they got to put in there. Um, I honestly think the thing that's worth doing is if you look up the New Days podcast, which is now, as of this recording, not been a thing for about a couple of years, I think. I think they like re-release old episodes at this point or something like that on the feed. Um, but there's a conversation between Evan Narcisse and Austin Walker and the New Day that is really just a really fun podcast to listen to, despite it being a remote thing where not everyone's internet is doing particularly well. Really recommend that podcast episode. Joy to listen to. Um, the book is cool. If you're you know if you're a bee, which is the only way you would be watching this, um, you might have some nostalgia for the New Day and be like genuinely impressed in a way that you hadn't really thought about. I'm talking about myself here, because the New Day debuted in 2014. I had forgotten about that. They've been a stable for like 8 years at this point, and to the best of my knowledge, even despite having uh, one of their members get I think a Universal Championship reign briefly, um, have basically never had any like backstabbing or like uh, well, we got to split these guys up because we can make a bad storyline out of it. Um, it just seems like I mean, that's probably not unprecedented in the history of wrestling, but it's really seems very rare. It seems very cool that they've just been a stable for 8 years through different injuries, through different title reigns. Like just a cool wrestling story about Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, all of whom seem genuinely like they give a fuck about what they're doing and also have a lot of fun with it, which is like it's cool. I'm glad they have a comic. I'm glad it was written by people who from my very outside perspective, um, seem to have done a good job of both fictionalizing their story, allowing it to run through the proper channels, and also um, enjoying doing what they're doing. So yeah, that is my review of The New Day, Power of Positivity. Thank you. Thank you. Genuinely thank you. Genuinely thank you for not watching.